I don't want a job. I don't want to be a corporate girly. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to be a boss babe. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be the breadwinner. I do not want to do that. You know what I want to do? I want to be home. I want to be cooking in the kitchen. I want to be cleaning. I want to be shopping. I want to be making brownies. I want to be cooking dinner, making homemade meals every night, almost every night. I want to do all the things. I want to welcome my future husband home from work with a big bear hug and a, hey, you ready for dinner? Dinner's on the table. I want to watch movies with him every night. I want to send him off to work in the morning with some nice, freshly baked muffins. I don't want a 9-to-5. I don't want a job. I don't want to work from home. No, it's not for me. I don't want it. It's not, I reject that. My future husband's going to be the breadwinner. He's going to bring in the dough. He will be raking it in. And I'll be right there cheering him on as I go buy 17 decorative pillows for our bed. Okay? That's the life for me.
Welcome to Nadia Voice. You know, more and more modern women are realizing something. Independence doesn't always bring happiness. Sometimes it just leaves them alone, hitting the wall, finally seeing that, yeah, men can actually be happier single than stuck in a relationship with them. Now, before we jump in, help us hit 170,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Smash that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. We always feature the best ones. And of course, a huge thank you to all our fans who watch our daily videos. You guys are the real MVPs. All right, let's get started.
Why do men have this constant fear of being used for money that they don't even have?
Oh, I don't know. Let's take a moment and think about this, though, okay? It might have something to do with the veritable plethora of posts that are out there made by some women that are, one, indicating how exactly you can get more money out of a guy by acting in a certain way, or that a lot of women won't date a man unless he makes a certain amount of money, or it could also be that there are some women that actually indicate that unless the guy is spoiling them financially, they don't want to be with him. Could it be any of those possibilities? Sure, some guys don't have a lot of money, but a lot of people, especially those that don't have a lot of money, are very protective of the money that they do have. And seeing how many women out there are only after men for what they can get out of them in terms of finances, it does tend to make some men exceptionally more cautious when it comes to dating certain women.
Absolutely. You see, a lot of women talk about being strong and independent, but the very first thing they expect from a man? Six-figure income, fancy gifts, or to be treated like a princess just for existing. The truth is, many of these women don't even have a stable place to live. Sure, they've joined the workforce, but some of them don't even own a thing, all because they're drowning in debt. Any man who's been dating lately knows this. The first thing you discover, they're buried under debt. So, brother, protect your money. Hard-earned cash is not meant to be wasted on someone who isn't worth your time.
Listen to me, women. We have been lied to. We have been deceived by this kind of expectations, these expectations, multiple expectations of being both successful in our careers and also being great mothers and wives and girlfriends or whatever. I feel at this age that I have been targeted by microaggressions by men throughout my life and my career. You actually can never do right. If you're a mother, why are you a mother and a professional? If you're not a mother, why have you not had children? If you're successful in your marriage, well, you should be staying at home and taking care of your household. If you're not, how are you managing? Why have you not chosen another career? As a doctor, I promise you, I am attacked, especially by the male species, on regular basis by my choices. If I ever have a bleep, which I had, earlier last year kind of suffered from tiredness and low iron and iron deficient iron deficiency anemia, and physically wasn't unwell. I have been judged throughout as if like I had to choose something else. However, if I make the decision to stay at home and, for example, claim benefits and rely on, public funds, then that also I would be a loser. If I'm married to someone who's successful and I don't have a career, I should be doing something about it. However, if I go to work and I'm ambitious, then I have to be absolutely 100% efficient, which I cannot be as a mother and a single parent and a doctor. You can never be. This is an achievable expectation. And despite me kind of doing really well and passing my exams, getting my training number, progressing through my training fine, minus when I had problems with my physical health, I'm reminded that I'm a woman all the time. I don't know what the solution is. Please, guys, tell me. Are we never gonna win? I don't know.
No. God, please, no, no, no. This woman talks like the world owes her something. Nolan tricked her into choosing her career. She made her choices, being a single mother and a doctor, and now she complains because it's hard. Welcome to the real world. Every man and woman faces criticism, pressure, and exhaustion. The difference? A man doesn't play the victim. He carries his load and keeps moving forward. She says the expectations are impossible. But that only happens when you try to do everything without accepting natural limits. You can't be a full-time mom, a high-level professional, and still expect to be treated like some untouchable princess. Responsibility is kryptonite for the modern woman who wants all the credit without any of the sacrifice.
Hey, y'all women, speak for yourselves when y'all say y'all don't need. Because, baby, I need a man. I don't want to be independent. I don't want to do everything on my own. Sup, Papa?
Victims of the male loneliness epidemic deserve exactly zero empathy from women.
And why would that be?
Because hating women is exactly how they got into this mess. And the only thing that's going to get them out of it is being less misogynistic and to stop placing the burden of their problems and the solutions to those problems on women.
I feel at this point, I should actually state the obvious. Because at least as far as I have seen, for the most part, those speaking about the supposed male loneliness epidemic have mostly been women. And a person has to wonder why that is. Not only that, but those particular women who choose to talk about how lonely and misogynistic most men supposedly are really seem to have never actually had a conversation with any of these single men. Because no, most men are not misogynistic. And those that are single are actually, for the most part, rather happy being single in their drama-free existence where they can actually just enjoy their peace. It's almost like some of these women need to believe that men are lonely so that they can justify some of the statements that they are making.
Go ahead, talk about the male loneliness epidemic. But if anyone is really hitting the wall hard, it's the modern woman. There are 7 million more women than men, and that's not even counting gay men. Yet somehow people insist that men are the desperate ones. Yeah, that makes total sense if you've never understood men or basic math. Here's the truth. Women who've had the experience of a good man at home, they actually appreciate it. They're not out here saying they don't need one. They want a partner, yes, but not out of desperation. They understand the value of masculinity. Then there's the feminist nobody wants. The one who ended up alone because she pushed away every man with common sense. She can't accept that she wasn't chosen. That's why she attacks. That's why she criticizes. That's why she convinces herself that men are the lonely and bitter ones, even though the numbers say otherwise. Women.
I'm not paying for your food. When we're on a date, I'm not paying for my food either. Call me old-fashioned. That's just how I feel. Dating has gotten absolutely insane. I am not a 50-50 kind of girl. I am not a coffee date kind of girl. Going on a walk is not a date. The time and energy it takes me to get ready for a date, the amount of makeup that I put on my face and what that costs like per swipe of blush. You cannot take me to coffee. I'm sorry, that just doesn't fly for me. There are men that I know that I think are really quality good guys, and they're not having their ladies pay for anything. They're just really not. Like, it would offend them. My bare minimum expectations are that you are going to make a plan, make a reservation, open doors for me, pay for the food, make sure I get home safely. If you enjoyed the date, to call me again, to set something else up. And if you didn't enjoy it, to give me a call and let me know that.
You know, personally, she's right about some things. Expectations these days, way too high. As a man, my advice is simple. Plan the date, pick her up, and have something organized. It helps you stay in control and makes the whole experience more comfortable for both of you. I firmly believe a man with a solid plan can actually win a woman over. After all, that's what dates are for. You invited her for a reason, right? For a first date, grabbing a coffee, perfectly fine. And honestly, I don't think any guy minds paying for that. A walk afterward where you can actually talk and connect? Not a bad idea either. The point of a first date is simple. Get to know each other and see if there is chemistry. Then, if there's a second date, the man will naturally put in more effort because he likes her and she likes him. But if she comes in right away with a list of demands, guess what? The man's walking away. No one wants to be the sponsor of a fancy dinner for someone they just met.
Telling you right now, be careful of a man who always has something to say. Always has something to say. He always has to argue about something. He always has to, be right about something. He always has to just yap, and mansplain, okay? Because those types of guys, I'm telling you right now, are very, very dangerous. And they want to control, how things are run. They want to, control the dynamic. They're always trying to cause a problem, okay? The type of guys that yap too much, they're gonna not be your peace. They're gonna give you a lot of chaos, okay? You want that strong, silent type, okay? Because it shows he's cool, calm, and collected. You do not want a man that always has to freaking say something to you. Why are you arguing with me, sir? You are a man. Pipe down. I'm not gonna, go back and forth with you. So if a man has always something to say, he is always running his mouth, please just know that's a very, it's be very, very chaotic for you. Okay. He will not bring you peace. Absolutely not. I'm warning you right now. The man is always talking with his mouth. You'll see later on.
No, it's not that a smooth-talking man is dangerous. The problem is that women often confuse confidence with manipulation. A man with the right words can melt her, because women fall in love through what they hear, not what they see. We men are visual, sure, but women? They're drawn in by what they listen to. And if a man knows when to speak and when to stay silent, he's already won half the battle. Talking non-stop? That's not seduction. It's anxiety. A man who dominates the conversation without listening loses his charm. The real key? Mystery. Let her express herself. Watch her. Read her body language. Guide the conversation calmly. That's how real tension and attraction are built. Too many men don't know when to shut up. They try to convince instead of conquer. The Bible said it best. Even a fool can seem wise if he stays silent. Learn to listen, because even silence can speak volumes. We've reached the end of the video, but now the questions are for you. Why are strong, independent women starting to regret their choices? Why does everything with the modern woman seem to revolve around money? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Your support means the world and keeps us creating more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from A.